So another strategy that we do use is also crime prevention through environmental design. And these are design aspects that we can build into our transit centers and other infrastructure. And we're actually doing this with the Orange Line, with the PMOR. And so lessons learned in some of our other projects are being incorporated into that. And so what is that exactly? We're improving the lighting, surveillance. This is in the form of CCTV, opening up the lines of sight so that people on one end of the platform can easily see on the opposite end. It gives them more of a sense of safety. And then better delineation of platforms. In other words, this is a fare zone. You're expected to have a fare, and that's another tool that we use so that we can engage with the customer and understand, why are you here? You know, are you loitering? Are you just hanging out? We don't want you to just hang out here. So that's a tool that the transit police use. In terms of CPTED, that's called territorial reinforcement. You're defining, this belongs to me, you're on my property, we're going to take ownership of it. It doesn't belong to you, you need to behave. That's the message that we want to send. And we've had some success in this area. So out on 188th and Burnside, that station was totally revamped. In your handout, you'll see a picture of before and after. On the left-hand side is a shelter. This was the original design back in the 80s, and the thinking was that we needed to provide protection from the elements. But now we've learned that that really wasn't a very good way to design things, that it creates hiding places. So we opened up the lines of sight, and that's the photo that you see on the right-hand side, and we improved the lighting and increased the number of cameras significantly. The types of crimes that we've seen in that area has started to drop, whereas we saw some violent crimes, that now has dropped. So I think this is a concept that we're carrying forward in the Orange Line as well, and you see that existing today on the Green Line and other stations. Another strategy that we use is that of technology, CCTV. We continue to make improvements there, whether it's moving from an analog system to more of a digital or internet protocol-based type of system. We are also increasing the number of cameras, and through a DHS grant, we'll be completing the cameras on all the platforms by, it's about the end of 2013, beginning 2014. So it just takes time to build that type of infrastructure. We have intrusion detection systems in this building is an example of that, and other infrastructure such as our signal rooms and communication buildings. We're now employing something called video analytics. We're going to be seeing that on the new bridge structure. This is software that's coupled with the video so that given certain types of parameters, we can say if it's of this shape, it belongs. If it's of this shape, it doesn't belong. If it's red, it belongs. If it's yellow, it doesn't belong. So it's pretty sophisticated software that we're employing. And then we're also playing with music. And I have to tell you that we have two locations where we're using this. One is in Lloyd Center area, and the other is 162nd. The jury's still out. We're really not sure it works yet. Some like it, some don't care for opera, but
that's the point.
That's the idea, right?
that's the idea. That's the idea. And then yet the last strategy that we use is that of educating the public. What you see in the handout is an example of that. Be alert, protect yourself. We participated last night in 8 different events of National Night Out. And so the transit police were there and handing out brochures and mingling with our customers. We hand out brochures and then through a variety of ad campaigns. So we're always trying to keep security in the forefront of our customers. So then, what are the next steps? Obviously, we need to focus on Lloyd and downtown. I think with the elimination of the rail-free zone, this gives us new opportunity, and we're going to take advantage of it. and I know that Transit Police is pretty excited about that opportunity. Obviously, we need to re-examine Hillsborough, what's going on out there. I've been meeting with our West Precinct to do that. We have some ideas, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to implement those over the course of the next several months. Obviously, we need to build on our partnerships, continue in that vein, and any other opportunities, we're going to exploit them to maximize our presence on the system. And then continue with the SEPTED concepts, improving CCTV, lighting improvements. We've actually identified some funding to improve lighting on the east side. So that will be occurring over the next several months. I think it'll actually begin to occur probably latter part of this year and then well into the next year. And then improving signage, again, this is to better delineate this is TriMet property and that these are the rules that you're expected to comply with. So overall, crime on the system is low. We use the data to help identify problem areas, identify strategies, and then to begin to implement those. We recognize that presence on the system is absolutely critical. By building on our partnerships, we attempt to do that. And then we'll continue to use the different technologies, build on education to help drive down the crime rate. And now, what I'd like to do is have the commander introduce another member of our transit team.